This is your ultimate guide to Grand Cayman. If you are headed to Grand Cayman anytime soon, you're gonna wanna save this video. In this video, we're gonna talk about car rentals, where to stay on the island, and just a breakdown of the island in general.
Some of our must-dos, our favorite restaurants, and some other things to keep in mind. Highly recommend renting a car in Grand Cayman, but keep in mind that they do drive on the opposite side of the road as the United States do, and some of the vehicles, the steering wheel is also on the opposite side. So it takes a little bit of getting used to, but everyone drives slow. It's a very safe place to drive, and so you eventually will catch on within like the first day or two. Another thing to note is a lot of the Airbnb and VRBO hosts have relationships with the rental car places, and so our VRBO host sent us a 15% off discount code with Hertz. So when we showed up to Hertz, we just mentioned where we were staying, and they were able to take 15% off of the bill.
Next up, let's talk about where to actually stay on the island. So you could either rent a house via Airbnb or VRBO or just stay in a hotel.
Something to mention is the price difference. We would recommend that you look into a rental, Airbnb, VRBO to get more value for your dollars. The hotels in Grand Cayman are absolutely beautiful, but they can be extremely pricey. We're talking $300 to $900 per room per night, plus taxes, plus resort fees, and in the high season, it can even be more than that, whereas you could get an entire VRBO rental, maybe it's a 3-bedroom home that sleeps 6 people for around $300 a night. Now let's talk about the island itself. Grand Cayman is extremely small. You could drive the entire thing in less than an hour, and there's a couple different areas that we want to point out for you guys.
So first up is the most well-known, it's the capital. There's Georgetown, and then right by Georgetown is 7 Mile Beach. You've probably heard of that as well. Very touristy over there. That is where the cruises port, and there's a lot of shopping, a lot of dining. It's very dense.
That's also where a majority of the hotels are going to be up and down 7 Mile Beach, which is no longer 7 miles because of erosion over the last couple years, but is still, in our opinion, one of the most beautiful beaches on the island. The last few times we've been, we have stayed on the north side of the island. It's way more residential. It's very quiet. It's quaint. We would say it feels a little bit more local. It's just a slower pace when you compare it to Georgetown and 7 Mile.
Then the east end of the island is also similar, much more local and residential.
Now let's talk about some absolute must-dos while you are in Grand Cayman. 3 things immediately come to mind, and you can actually accomplish all of them by doing the first, which is renting a boat or booking a private charter. We've used a couple different companies. Most recently, it was Cayman Private Charters. Had an amazing day with them. We've also used Red Sail Sports in the past. They have a ton of different options for booking, but it's incredible to get out on that absolutely crystal clear blue water. And the 2 places that we would recommend that you go while on these private charters or semi-private charters is Stingray City, which is such a cool and unique experience, and then Starfish Point.